This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the Peace Gardens here in Sheffield.
Beautiful, huh?
Lovely.
Beautiful
Lovely day. One of your fans?
Yeah, one of your fans, I think.
One of your fans. Yeah, obviously we did an hour and a half yesterday.
Yeah,
Didn't talk too much about the card though, so...
Yeah, we did a lot yesterday, didn't we?
Hour and a half.
I know, it's gone down quite well.
People understand.
They understand, and I would like to chin Eddie. Did you see that, what's his name, Guru geezer got me in trouble with Carl Frampton? Did you see it?
No, what happened?
I think he tweeted Carl Frampton and said, Eddie thinks you wouldn't be able to knock him out, or something like that. And Carl said, give over, I'd knock Eddie out with half a shot or something like that. So we're getting some momentum on that front.
We are. We didn't say David Hay in there as well.
No, I don't know if I don't think David Hayes is likely to chin me.
No?
No.
Did you think of any more names of people that would put it on you?
No, leave it for now. Leave it for now. I just want to make it clear that I hope this doesn't happen. Like, it's not an invitation to chin Eddie. You know what I mean? Shane McGuigan's going to be here today. Might think it's funny to chin me. Anyway.
Definitely not.
Rule that out.
Rule that out. Yeah, we're about an hour away from the start. We couldn't have asked for better weather.
Unbelievable, baking. Look at the Sky team, look, sunbathing, look, Matt Pan round, look.
Sorry, what's going on, mate?
Anna. George Groves.
Yes.
You said yesterday you're going to be rooting for George Groves.
I'm going to be rooting for George Groves.
But not just because there's
For many reasons.
Yeah.
One, because I think he deserves a shot, and I would personally, I think the same as a lot of British fight fans, would like to see him win a world title. Selfishly, and selfishly on behalf of Matchroom and some of our fighters as well, I would like George Groves to win a world title because it would set up some huge fights in the super middleweight division. So, you know, I think it would be great for boxing in the UK. I think it would be great for George Groves, and therefore, one, because I genuinely want him to win, and two, because it would be good for business. I hope he wins.
Chudinov's not a mug though, is he?
No, I don't. I see Groves as the favourite. Like I said, I can't remember if I said this in the interview yesterday, but I did say something. It makes no sense, but I'll say it again anyway. Chudinov's got a great style to beat George Groves. He presses the action all the time. He works the body. He's relentless. But he's also got a great style for George Groves. You know, he comes forward in straight lines. He's going to be open to getting hit. Groves can punch. It's a really good fight. I mean, it'll go a little bit under the radar because of Brooke Spence, but I think it's a really, really good fight. Right? Yeah, I'm excited about that fight. Really excited because everything's on the line. And you know how much it means to, you know the teams, don't you? It's obviously Sowlands and the McGuigan gym. Wasserman, you know, everybody will be just desperate from that side to see George Groves win. So I think it'll be a great atmosphere.
As in regards to James Gale, I always spoke about that. Obviously, you had a plan to put him in with Callum Smith, and it's looking unlikely though he will fight this side of the summer.
Yeah, we're talking at the moment and going back with opponents and stuff like that. I mean, you know, he's coming off an injury himself, so July the 1st, which was the proposed date, was always quite short notice. Now it's 5 weeks on Saturday, so you know, we're looking at the options. If he doesn't box in July, I guess he'll box in September. And
is he happy about that?
Depends. I think he's got a little holiday he wouldn't mind going on, but listen, I'd like to get him out in July, and we'll still try and make that happen. But he'll definitely have one eye on George Groves. I mean, what happens if George Groves takes Chudinov out early? Do you try and move straight into not July 1st, but late July or early August? Do you try and move into a Groves de Gale fight? I would. No, if it was me, if it was up to me, I'd snap these fights off as quickly as you can, because you never know what's going to happen. Take it while it's there.
We'll have to wait and see what happens after
we
Saturday.
We will, won't we? Well, we can't decide it now, can we?
Absolutely not. It's going to be the Matchroom debut of Jamie Cox, who takes on...
And Anthony Fowler.
And Anthony Fowler. Talk about Jamie Cox first. Obviously, you've said quite a bit about what you'd like to do with Jamie Cox, but in reality, how does he fit into that whole picture?
I think he's banging that mix of super middleweights. You know, he's mandatory for Rocky Fielding at the moment. So...
Can you see that fight happening?
Possibly. I'm talking to Matthew Macklin about it. You know, if it doesn't happen, then Jamie Cox's got to fight for the vacant title. But I think that for a long time, and you probably know this as well, a lot of people have been talking about Jamie Cox in boxing. You know the stories, you know the rumours. He spars everywhere, and everyone says this is one dangerous son of a bitch who can punch like anything. So when I heard these and I watched him a little bit, you know, it is a threat and it is a danger to anyone. So I think he's going to be a real force. And the great thing about Jamie Cox is he hasn't got to learn anymore. He's done all that. He hasn't boxed for a while. That's the only problem. But you know, he's getting his fight against Lewis Taylor on Saturday. Hopefully win a title. Hopefully blow away some cobwebs. Then ready to go in any of the big fights. Like, he will fight anyone. So that's great news for as a promoter and for the fans as well. That here's a guy that won't put obstacles up in the way. Won't be too greedy. Won't, you know, try and be too clever to make fights. Will take the fights that he wants and he needs to get to the level that he's dreamed of. And I really believe that you're going to love watching him box. If you haven't seen him before, he's great to watch, very, very exciting. And, you know, I think Lewis Taylor will provide a good test because he's a local lad, sold a lot of tickets, big opportunity for him, and he'll be there to fight.
We could be in a situation by maybe September where we're holding all but one of the super middleweight belts.
Great, you might find that with a few divisions. You know, Britain has always been rich, hasn't it, in middleweights, and particularly super middleweights over the years. And again, I think we're in a stage where we have probably the best super middleweights in the world. James DeGale, you have to say, is on paper the best super middleweight in the world right now. Number two, you know, Callum Smith is an extraordinary talent. He's going to go on and become world champion as well. Jamie Cox, George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr. They're all very talented fighters. Then you've got Rocky Fielding coming through. You know, loads of different levels of talent in the UK, but a very deep division domestically.
Professional debut for Mr. Anthony Fowler. Yeah. Excited about that?
Very excited, because I've watched him for a long time. I've always thought he'd be a great pro. I've always thought that he'll really entertain the public, which he will. And the work that I've seen him do with Dave Coldwell tells me that, you know, he's improving, he's learning, and I'm excited to see him make his debut. Sold a lot of tickets from Liverpool. He's going to be very, very popular, Anthony Fowler. And I think you're going to enjoy watching him fight. I think he's going to be in all action fights.
Lawrence Okoli also on the bill.
Yeah, added quite late on, obviously the postponement of the June the 3rd card. Crack Lawrence on, Joe Caldina's back on as well. So, you know, keeping those boys busy, giving them a chance to box at all these big shows and big nights, gain the experience so that when their time comes, they have it in the bank and they have that experience to perform under pressure when their moment of time comes.
Will be a little classic with Andy Townend and
yeah, it's going to
Case.
start us off the night, 6 PM. Andy Townend sold like 800 tickets, hugely popular in Yorkshire. It's just going to be a tear-up, I think, with Jonathan Case. Townend probably disappointed himself with the Ward loss, although Martin was excellent that night. Nothing to be ashamed of, but he can really punch, and I think he's going to go and try and have a tear-up with Case and knock him out.
And Dave Allen.
Yeah, Dave Allen's, you know, with a little bit of personality and the right promotional team, you can go a long way. But you've got to be able to fight. Dave can fight, but he has the toughest fight of his career tonight, of the ones he has a chance of winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's been in with Ortiz, he went in with Dillian, he didn't have much prep for either of those fights, so this is one he can win. This is a major belt that David Allen can win. You've got to remember, this guy virtually threw it, you know, threw the sport away. Got to get his phone call.
Okay. Picking this back up.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Dave Allen, you've got to realise, this was a guy, you know, he had gambling problems, he wasn't getting any opportunities in the ring. His career was, although he probably wouldn't have said it at the time, virtually over. You know, he took the Luis Ortiz fight and the Dillian White fights for nothing else other than he loves to fight and he needed the money, right? He got the money there, and after the Luis Ortiz fight, I went into the changing room and he had a massive cut down his tongue. He could hardly talk, I don't know if you remember. And I said to him, you know, mate, if you start taking it seriously, you could go a long way. And you know what he said to me? He did. I could hardly understand the word he said because of his tongue. And I thought, let's give him a chance. You know, he's not helped us out because, listen, he was looked after as well. Probably not as much money now than he thinks he should have got, but he wasn't my fighter. But, you know, he came in, he provided entertainment. I like the kid, I like the story. You know, it's not just about taking GB elite fighters and Olympians, and because that's almost easy for me, you know. And again, not sounding big-headed, but I'm that good that for an Olympic champ or someone with loads of talent, it's like I can do it blindfolded, you know. Give me a Dave Allen, or give my old man a Sam Eggington, and let's see what we can do. That's where sometimes you prove your worth as a promoter and as a advisor or a guider, or just someone in general that's backing a fighter. How great would it feel to see Dave Allen win the Commonwealth heavyweight title at Bramall Lane on Saturday? The answer is, it would make me feel $1 million. So if it made me feel $1 million, imagine what it would do for him. Imagine what it would do for people who know him personally. Imagine what it would do for Yorkshire, and I mean, they'll all be behind him. So I like him, and he deserves it. He is in a real fight against a fighter that has tried to fight at world level and failed, but is a European level fighter. But this is a guy that, you know, you could look at, could win British titles in the UK at heavyweight. So that's the kind of level he's up against. Let's see if Dave Allen has that level in him. It'll be a very, very tough fight.
Dave Allen hasn't won a British title yet. Can you see Dave Allen ever fighting for a world title? Can you see that situation ever?
There's a long way to go. But if he keeps winning, the answer is 100% yes, because he has the personality. I'm going to make him a big draw if he can keep winning. So if he keeps winning and he puts himself in that position, he'd be the perfect guy to challenge for the world heavyweight title. Imagine the story. But he has to improve a lot. He has to win on Saturday, then he has to win a British title, defend it, probably win a European title. So, you know, can I see it? Only because I'm an extremely positive person? Yes, I can. In reality, a lot of work to do. So on Saturday, it's about not being this, you know, joke of a geezer that everyone just thinks is hilarious because he stuffs things down his pants. Let's be a real heavyweight. Let's go and win a major title in a real fight against a good heavyweight. And let's go and prove that we're not a joke act. You know, we're funny. You know, he's got a great personality. He's great to be around, great to watch, but show us you can fight. If you can fight and you've got that personality, boy, I'll make you a star.
Okay, just finally, I know obviously Frank Smith was having a meeting yesterday regarding well, other issues other than security, but more specifically the security issues. Anything come back from that people need to know?
You know, you've got to remember that prior to the terrible incident in Manchester, you know, there was a lot already in place. It wasn't like, you know, there's no threat level. So, you know, already in place was, you know, a huge amount of police, you know, sniffer dogs, all this kind of stuff to protect the public. It's our job as well as promoters, and of course the police, to make sure that people are protected. When the events happened in Manchester, we had a meeting yesterday, and that was severely stepped up. No bag policy.
Can you clarify that no bag policy? Like, I know you've probably been asked this, but if a woman comes there with a
I mean, look, we'd like you not to bring a bag. You know, if a woman comes with a small clutch, are they going to not let her in? I doubt it. They're going to, of course, search it thoroughly. But we'd like to ask people, don't bring bags. I mean, there's a no bag policy. If you turn up with a holder or a rucksack, anything, you're not getting in with that bag. So, and that's, you know, that's important. It's important to us, it's important to the public, and of course it's important to the police, who, at the end of the day, everybody's safety is paramount, and we're going to make sure, with the police's guidance, that we put in the necessary precautions to make people feel comfortable. And that is, you know, if I was a customer, I wouldn't want people to be allowed to take bags into an arena, would you? You know, of course, but we're at the, you know, whatever the police tell us to do, we have to do. We don't get any choice. If they tell us we've got to bring in 100 police officers, we have to do it as promoters. That's our obligation, and it's important to us that we do that and we listen to them. So, you know, we'll be talking to them non-stop over the next few days and making sure that it's safe in the arena.
Okay. All right, well, Eddie Hearn, thank you very
Catch
much
you
for
after the workout,
talking
boy.
to IFL TV. We'll catch up with you soon.
Good, mate.